work mostly with adults. I used to work with children and adolescents, but really anyone who has identified that hurting is a big issue in their lives and that they want to learn how to hurt differently and to heal. I have a real interest in trauma work and grief and loss. Those are kind of where I hang my hat. I also have certification in substance abuse treatment, and so that means that I can sit down with somebody who comes in and says something isn't right in my life, and I can ask them all of the different parts of what's going on with that and feel pretty good about being able to address, most of the time, any piece of what it is that's creating the suffering in their lives. It takes guts to pick up a phone and say, I think I need therapy. And then it takes even more guts to save your card that says what time your appointment is. And then even more to actually show up for the appointment. It is scary to go in and face another human being that you don't know yet, maybe, that nobody gave you the name for, and say some of the most intimate things that have ever happened to you, and say, I think I need help with these. As a social worker, we align with providing services to everyone, regardless of the ability to pay. We see each person as having the right to treatment, the right to determine what they want their lives to be, and the right to name what is going to help them to get there. But we sometimes get stuck with having to say, I'm sorry, we don't have any more sessions for you, and now what are we going to do? And so the challenge that I find myself with is figuring out how to make what we do have be a thing of honor that we can offer to our people. I work with probably 20 or 30 clinicians in this office. There's a huge commitment to making sure that all of us have been trained both in mental health and in substance abuse, and I really feel like there's a strong sense of shared mission there. But watching the work and getting to be part of that work has just taught me so much about the world, and I'm so grateful for it, and that's the best thing
about it to me. We do not go into this field without something have happened in our lives or some awareness that we have that human suffering is a part of human meaning making. And all of us are trying to get our minds around that when we come into the field. And so I think, being able to say, what do I have invested in this and caring for it myself is critical in my being able to offer a whole effort to them so that they can truly be the agents and the creators of their own journey. And the best social workers are people who are willing to take that risk and have the guts to pick up the phone and say, I think I need some help with this. I learned really early when I first came out of school, I had all this pressure on myself. I learned all these things, tried to learn all these techniques, and I pressured myself to be able to help. To go, when somebody was in crisis, that I was supposed to go and I was supposed to fix it. Even though people had talked about, you're not the fixer, I still had that kind of pressure on myself. And I had this moment one day, I was doing work actually in the foster care system in a foster home where there were 6 kids. I remember one day I was sitting in the living room and the kids were all arguing, the parents were pulling their hair out. I had made several attempts to do good interventions to kind of help people to listen to each other. It wasn't working at all. And the family dog came, it was a little corgi with these big old ears that stuck up, and came waddling into the middle of the room. And the kids were all, hey! All of a sudden, it broke the tension. They were all excited. They settled down. They were being themselves. And I recognized in that moment that it was a structural change. Just by walking into a home or stepping into a situation, you are a new energy for that family, and that may be all that's needed. So stop being up in your head. People would say that to me, Adrienne, get down out of your head. Stop being in your head so much. It was really good advice. Knowing you don't have to have all the answers to be of help to people. It's your presence that really matters.